Actually, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm meadsyreplays. Welcome back to the channel. So, the WZ-111 5A is currently in the stores. Now, you can get this tank for 20,000 gold. So, 20,000 gold, to be honest, for a tier 10 tank is not too bad. And I think you may even be able to get it for a little bit cheaper if you don't want the camo. So, let's just have a look if you are actually able to get this tank cheaper. So even so, 20,000 gold for a tier 10 tank, I don't think you can get it cheaper, unfortunately. Let's just scroll through, because normally you can actually get the tank for a little bit cheaper, but let's just wait. 1 out of 2. No, you can't. So you can either get the tank or you can get a crate that may have the tank, it may not. But 20,000 gold. 20,000 gold for a tier 10 tank. What is the tank like nowadays? Is it worth 20,000 gold? So straight off the bat, if you like an IS7, then you should like the 5A. It is a very good tank. In my opinion, it is probably a better version than the IS7. It does have its weak points, of course. Every tank has its weak points, but overall, for a heavy tank, it is a very, very decent tank. And to be fair, for 20k gold, you can't complain about the price, because 20,000 gold is the standard price for a tier 10 tank. So stat-wise, it's got 300 millimeters of turret armor. So you've got an amazing turret, really, really strong turret. Your hull, however, is just 140 millimeters. That isn't so strong. So of course, looking at that, you need to go hold down. You need to show your turret as much as possible, and only your turret. Now, just like the IS7, this has the higher alpha gun. So it has a 460 alpha gun. The DPM 2826, that is a 9.7 second reload. 260 AP pen, 303 on your heat. Now, I'm not running it with calibrated shells. You can if you want. To up the pen, you'll probably get it to around 330. So if it's up to you whether you want DPM. I mean, the DPM is not fantastic, but of course, if you do run it with calibrated shells, your DPM will drop a couple of hundred, so around 2,600. It is totally up to you if you want to run it with the calibrated shells or the rammer. So again, 460 alpha on your AP, 390 on your heat, and a very nice 600 on your HE. Aim time is 4 seconds and the dispersion is 0.326. So the aim time's not fantastic, and the gun dispersion is pretty average for this kind of tank. It has 7 degrees of gun depression and a very nice top speed of 45 kilometers per hour. So yeah, I mean, it's a decent tank. If you've got the IS7 or even the IS4 to some extent, then yeah, I mean, you could sit there and think, what's the point of me buying this? Because I do have those. Of course, it's a premium tank. It's a premium version, and in my opinion, it doesn't have that pike nose that the IS7 has got. So you can angle the tank a little bit better. And of course, with 300 millimeters of turret armor, you can actually get quite a bit of blocked damage if you play the tank right. Now, to do that, again, like I always say, you have to play the tank right. Don't just roll up into game thinking, you know what, I've got 300 millimeters of turret armor, I am going to block every single thing that comes my way. It doesn't work, trust me. It does not work. I've tried it. It's tried and tested, and I've failed. So just, you know, play it to its advantages. It's very, very good at hold down. It has 7 degrees of gun depression, so you are able to get on some ridge lines and use that 7 degrees. And again, the DPM is not fantastic, but it's not overly that bad. Of course, you look at it against some other heavies that have sort of 3,300 to 3,500. Yeah, of course, it hasn't got the DPM that those tanks have got, but it does have armor, and it does have a very, very nice gun, and you can bounce pretty much anything. As long as you're not showing your hull, then you can bounce just about anything. So just like we did there on the Pajero 65. So yeah, I mean, it's not a bad tank. And if you do have a spare 20,000 gold just sitting in your account and you don't own a 5A, then yeah, I would probably suggest the tank. You know, it's not a bad tank at all, and it is a kind of nice, especially when you can get the high rolls, because you've got the 460 damage. Sometimes you will be able to get the high rolls that is over sort of the 500 mark, and with it having the 460 alpha, there's not often that you're going to do below 400. I mean, they're 448, so other heavies, of course, with the 400 alpha or the 420 alpha, anything like that, some shots you will get that are below the 400 mark, sort of 380, 370, you know, something like that. But with a tank like this, with the 460, I mean, look at that, 559. Very, very nice alpha. And you can pick up a lot of damage very, very quickly, even though the DPM isn't fantastic. But DPM isn't everything, you know. DPM is not, it doesn't show the whole tank. Just because it doesn't have the best DPM when it comes to tier 10 doesn't mean it's a bad tank, and you can still really, really perform. If you're in a side scraping position, if you're in a hold down position, you can still perform. Now here, we tried going on the ridgeline. I mean, I kind of overdo it, and you can see there that if you show your hole, you can get penetrated even by that M103. So don't over angle it. Don't overdo it on the ridgeline. Make sure that you are on the ridgeline and not over the ridgeline. And again, we do manage to get that bounce with over almost 550 alpha again on that M103. So straight away, that is 1300 damage. This T57 is next. That is a bit of a low roll there, 411. So far, that is the lowest roll that we have done in 2 games. So of course, there is a Jaegeru that is staring straight at me, and when you angle, you are able to get those bounces. So now 2.2k damage. We're going to push a little bit forward just to try and support our K91 a bit, and of course the Jaegeru is going to drop down, try to kill the K91, which is absolutely perfect for me because I can just sit behind him and get a little bit of free damage. And before you know it, that's just 2 tanks. That's 2 tanks gone. There's the third, and I'm already on 3.1k damage. Just 4 tanks left alive, and again with my angling, I managed to get a bounce even in the open from the waffle. So now I am going to get this kill. Well, I'm not going to get the kill, sorry. Just before I kill him, the Leopard 1 comes and steals the kill. So overall, just a little bit of damage left to do. We're on 3.7k. We bounced 1800, so we've almost bounced what we've got in hit points. So so yeah, it does work. The armor profile does work, but you've got to put it in that situation. If you can't get in a hold down position, then try your hardest to get into a side scraping position. But ultimately, this tank does perform much, much better when you are in that hold down position. So in store now, 20,000 gold, solid price. I mean, the average price, you can't expect this tank to be any less. Doesn't come for sale that often, if I'm honest. So 20,000 gold is pretty fair, if you ask me. So that's it, guys. Another bounce there from the bat chat. And again, if you give them time, they will aim at your weak points. Even here on an angle, he can still penetrate me. So get on a ridge. Get this tank on a ridge, and you will start performing much better. And it's definitely worth the price. Put it in that kind of situation on a hill, hold down, side scraping, then it will feel a much, much better tank. So let me know your thoughts on the 5A. Do you own it? Do you want to own it? And what do you think of it? But for now, I hope you enjoyed today's video. Hit that subscribe button. I'm Meadsy, and I'll catch you all soon. Bye-bye. With